Okay, so what if I told you that the secret to, a more peaceful, more authentic life was discovered centuries ago? And I'm not talking about some new life hack or a productivity app. Nope. This is a really profound insight into consciousness itself, found by this legendary wise man. Today, we're going to dive into that secret. It's kind of like a hidden path back to who we really are.
All right, so let's set the scene. We're going way back to the misty mountains of pre-dynastic China, and our main character is this legendary sage Lao Tzu. Now, his name literally just means the old fellow, which I love. And this old fellow, well, he got completely fed up with court life. All the fake rituals, the constant posturing. He was just over it. So he did something pretty radical. He just walked away, headed for the wilderness to find something real in all that silence.
So here's the big question, right? What on earth did he find out there? What was this big secret hidden in the quiet of the mountains? The kind of wisdom that lets you just drop all that noise and anxiety from the city and tap into something way, way bigger. Okay, hold on. Before I give you the answer, we gotta wrap our heads around the mystery itself. Because the thing Lao Tzu found, well, it wasn't some simple idea you could just jot down in a notebook. It was the Tao. And the Tao, it's a reality that you'll see pretty much defies any definition we can come up with. I mean, look at this. This is literally the very first line of his famous book, The Tao Te Ching. And right out of the gate, it's a total paradox. He's basically saying, hey, anything I'm about to tell you about the Tao isn't really the Tao. It's like any attempt to pin it down with words is guaranteed to fail. The second you put a label on it, poof, you've missed it. So what is this thing then? Well, Lao Tzu can only really talk about it using metaphors. He'd call it an eternal void, totally empty. But then, in the same breath, he'd call it the Great Mother, the source of everything. Think of it like this well. You can keep drawing water from it forever, and it just never, ever runs dry. It's this amazing paradox. Totally empty, but at the same time jam-packed with infinite possibilities. So how does this whole mystery work? There's this amazing concept called Tsujan. It basically means happening all by itself. And when you stop to think about it, this is everywhere. I mean, you don't have to try to be your heart, right? You don't tell your fingernails to grow. It all just happens. That effortless, automatic, intelligent process, that's Tsujan. It's not something you control, it's something you trust. Wow. I mean, what a great way to put it, right? Trying to eat your own mouth. It just perfectly captures how impossible this is. How can you define the very thing that's doing the defining? How can you observe the thing that's doing the observing? It's an intellectual knot you just can't untie. And that's the real mystery, isn't it? We're not separate from the Tao. We are the Tao. We can't step outside of ourselves to get a good look. Okay, so if this whole thing is so unknowable, so untouchable, then what's the point? How are we supposed to connect with it at all? Well, this is where it gets really interesting. Lao Tzu left us a clue. A really faint one, but it's there. And it's hidden in something we see every single day. Something so common we barely even notice it. Water. That's it. Just water. Now think about it. Lao Tzu pointed out that there's nothing softer, nothing weaker than water. You can punch it, you can slice it, it just yields, right? But it's that very same weak water that can wear away the hardest stone. It's water that carved the Grand Canyon. Not with brute force, but just by being persistent and flexible. So maybe that's the clue. Maybe real strength isn't about being hard and forceful. Maybe it's about knowing how to yield. So how does this clue about water help us in our actual lives? How does it all connect? Well, now we get to the heart of it all. This is the big secret Lao Tzu figured out. And it turns out it's not just one thing. It's a two-part practice, this integrated art of consciousness. He called it awakening and flowering. So let's tackle the first part, awakening. What is it? Simply put, it's about finding your way. Not the path your parents wanted for you or the one society is pushing on you, but the path that's genuinely, authentically yours. It's about breaking free from all those cultural shoulds and, maybe even more importantly, finally silencing that nasty inner critic. You know the one, the voice that's always telling you you're not good enough. And to really get this, just think about our own lives. We all start out as these natural kids, right? Spontaneous, playful, just living life without a second thought. But then, something happens. We grow up. We become these self-conscious adults, always tense, always judging, and that little voice in our head just never shuts up, does it? It's a constant stream of, am I doing this okay? God, what are they thinking of me? Am I screwing this up? It's exhausting. So this whole journey of awakening, it happens in 3 stages. First, you've got that natural, spontaneous, childlike stage we all start in. Then comes stage 2, the awkward stage. This is where we get all tangled up in our own heads, full of self-doubt. And honestly, this is where most people get stuck. But there's a third stage, the liberated stage. And listen, this isn't about becoming a kid again. It's something better. It's like rediscovered innocence. You get the spontaneity back, but this time it's paired with wisdom and skill. So if you boil it all down, what's the secret? It's this. It's the art of getting out of one's own way. That's it. It's all about learning to trust that natural, spontaneous part of you again, and just telling that anxious, critical voice in your head to finally take a hike. It's the ultimate antidote to feeling completely burnt out. But here's the thing. Awakening isn't just a one-and-done deal. To keep it going, you need the other half of the secret, and that's flowering. Think of it like this. If awakening is the art of letting go of all that inner junk, flowering is the art of letting in the good stuff. It's all about being open, being receptive, just like a flower opening up to the sky. You know, our society is kind of obsessed with the masculine side of things, isn't it? The aggressive energy, the hustle, the idea of conquering your goals, symbolized by the sword. But what Lao Tzu is saying is that real wisdom comes from the other side, from embracing the so-called feminine element, the softness, the receptivity, the open flower. It's a huge shift in thinking. You don't take knowledge by force, you allow yourself to receive it. And hey, you don't even have to look far for proof. Just look at your own body. Your senses are all about being receptive, not aggressive. Your eye doesn't go out and snatch images, does it? No, its soft surface just receives light. Your eardrum doesn't go hunting for sounds. It's a delicate drum that simply yields to vibrations. It's only because of this softness, this weakness, that we can experience the world at all. So there you have it. The secret is this 2-part art of awakening and flowering. But here's the best part. Getting this answer doesn't solve the mystery. Not at all. In fact, once you start to experience it, the mystery just gets deeper and way more beautiful. It's like finding a magnificent painting that the artist intentionally left unfinished, and realizing that that's the whole point. So what does this actually feel like? Well, it's a huge release. That tension you carry in your shoulders, that physical clenching from anxiety, it just dissolves. And that nonstop narrator in your head, the one picking apart everything you do, it finally goes quiet. And in that silence, there's just a profound sense of peace. And in that quiet, something amazing happens. You get this startling aha moment. The frantic search you've been on your whole life, it's just over. That peace you were desperately chasing, that destination you were trying so hard to reach, you realize it's right here. It's been here all along. You've already arrived. See, this kind of wisdom, it's not a list of rules you can memorize for a test. It's more like feeling an organic pattern. The Chinese have a word for it, li. It's like the natural grain in a piece of wood, or the beautiful random markings in a piece of jade. There's no formula for it. It's something you have to sense, to feel your way through, to work with instead of against. And that's why the truly wise always leave a little bit of mystery. Just like those old landscape painters, they leave big empty spaces in their art on purpose. They knew that the part of our brain that needs to analyze everything, to connect every dot, to explain every little thing, well, that part of the brain just ends up with a world that's been picked to pieces, with all the magic gone. They understood that the mystery is the point. Which brings us to a final, pretty mind-bending question. If the whole point is to realize you've already arrived, then what? What comes next? Does this journey of awakening ever really, truly end? Or maybe that's the final secret. Maybe getting to that state of flowering, of being totally open, just reveals that there was never a destination to begin with. Maybe the whole point was to discover that the journey, the mystery itself, well, just like the Tao, it's infinite.